Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stun back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the Pirate Alliance Blitz Battle 40 Stamina 13-star event for the New Year celebration, and sort of giving you guys some team ideas to help personalize your own Blitz Battle team if you guys haven't done so already. So we're just about 12 hours over the event. I've put out a ton of videos when it comes to different variations with the batch. Obviously, blitzes come around when we have big summonable banners, and I know a lot of people are spending their gems, so I do try and make as many videos catered towards different combinations of having the new legends, the new super sugos, the new rare recruits, all that kind of stuff as well. I'm pretty much done with releasing videos. I really enjoy like doing different combinations. It makes farming the blitz a lot more fun for me, rather than just literally jumping in with the same team and just mindlessly banging my head against the wall. I find it just way more fun. Blitz is by far my least favorite content in the game. Like, if you had to ask what is my least favorite thing to do, it's Blitz Battle. Like, and I'm so glad that they only come around like 4 times a year. I'm so glad they only last like 2 days and not like 5 days like treasure maps, because like, bro, back when we used to get long Blitz battles, shit was torture. But as I was saying, in today's video, I want to break down some different combinations for you guys and just have a talk about the actual content itself. So this is the team they want you to use, per se. Like, obviously you don't need the Brûlé support. You don't need any supports, obviously, with this particular team. And it's pretty annoying that they decided to make turn 3 cater around this particular 6+ that they put behind a paywall. Obviously, like, you could argue that stump every character is behind a paywall because you are summoning on like super sugo banners. However, this is an old unit that got a buff and should not be locked behind a paywall to start with, and 2, should not be kind of required for the content. Now, don't stress, like, we did figure out a way to actually get around it without this unit, and obviously just by using the Super Sugo characters and the rare recruit batch of Dineen and Garb. But this particular character on turn 2 is great because obviously you can use their EX Super. On turn 2, that's going to remove the bind that gets inflicted on your top row, and then their special can remove the attack down and the paralysis that is on turn 2. The other character they want you to use on turn 3, sorry, is Dineen. Dineen is going to remove the, it's going to give you the tandem mobs to get the barrier and actually kill all the mob units there as well. Garb's not really essential for this particular team and for the batch team to run. This is what they actually want you to do. However, if you guys don't have the Waifu 6+ and you do have Garb, you could do some funky stuff with the supports to help you out, take down the paralysis, take down the bind, and take down the attack down that can be inflicted across the 2 different variations. You either come up against Green Bull or Fuji. Fuji basically gives you attack down, you still get blinded no matter what, and then on Green Bull, he actually gives you paralysis and has that barrier. So this particular support was the clutch. This support hasn't seen play in forever. Came out with Versa Kainu, ironically, so it works nicely. You get obviously the 2 turns of bind removal there, which is exactly what you need. But it only goes on to Dineen, and it is a support rare recruit that a lot of people don't have their hands on. And if you don't have it, like, I do understand. But that was kind of the key to actually get the extra 2 turns of bind. Even if you have like a ship, like, it was actually really rough to actually get everything that you need. As you can see, like, we have attack down support with Kobe, we have paralysis and bind with Rayleigh, we have paralysis and bind with Karasu, and then we have paralysis and bind with Karasu, and then we have the Izo and Kiku. You actually don't really need Izo Kiku now that I'm really looking at it. You could probably run something else, but like, there's no bind removing support that goes on White Pit and Ace either. So this was a little bit annoying to have to like run this particular build. There are a couple other supports that you guys can use, like you can chop and change like a Helmeppo support for paralysis, and then you can use like Jozu support on Whitebeard and Ace, and then you can use like, do you remove attack down? And no, you do bind and paralysis. There's like there's a koala that's attack down and bind for Sabo, so that also works. That's what I think I ran in my original video. But if you guys are struggling with the support options for this particular team, you can literally just replace the waifu unit with Chopper. There is a Chopper. Where is he? Come on. Man, the loading screens today are just absolutely killing me. There is a Christmas Chopper that is boosted, the 6+ one, this one right here, and he actually just removes everything the waifus do, so it works really nicely. This guy basically just covers you for everything that the waifus do. You have the bind removal, you have the paralysis there, you have attack down, so you can basically just use his special on turn 3, and you'll be covered. Obviously, you're going to get a lot less points, but look, at the end of the day, it's much better than summoning on a banner that you really shouldn't summon on, and then get the character in mate anyway. But they did give you an option. It's a 1.1 times booster. It is what it is. So besides that, obviously, once you start sort of talking about substitutes and look at what characters you can replace, you can break it down to this particular no new batch team that I put together. This team actually works really nicely. Obviously, the points are drastically skewed, and you do need the support rare recruit Carrot as well as Anniversary Roger for this team to function the way that it does. Because that Tandem Orb barrier on turn 2, it's a little bit annoying to get the Tandem Orbs that are required to break through it, but you can do it with these particular supports. They work out quite nicely, and it's a great substitute for Dineen, but then Dineen also needs the resilience removal, the mob killing shenanigans, and that's where this Zoro comes into play. This Zoro is actually so good for taking care of those mobs and for also dealing with the resilience, not only on turn 3, but also on turn 4, because Kizaru has a resilience as well. So if you're running, say, this team here, and you're saying, Stump, I need to replace with Don, you just put Zoro in that particular slot. As for Wiping and Ace, they're not really boosted. They're not really doing too much for the team, so they can be swapped out for anything. So they're pretty replaceable. However, they do have the upside of being able to use an EX as a Sailor. So that allows you to get the EX of Luffy. That way you can do more damage, and obviously you need to be in Snake Man to bypass the paralysis on the final stage as well. But a great replacement for these guys is Akainu. Akainu is also a superclass. I think he's a superclass user for fighters, and he can be used as a Sailor as long as you have a Garp on the team. So if you are running that other sort of build with the supports, you can bring Garp back into the fray, and you can actually use Akainu. I don't know what's going on with the loading screens today, man. Like, the loading screens are killing my life. But once you start doing a whole bunch of like chops and changes, you do need to be mindful that you are going to lose characters for stuff like EXs. You're going to lose characters that can trigger their own EXs to get Luffy to pop. But like I said, Akainu is just a great option. He can be used on the team over something like Wipe It and Ace. But again, it means you then have to bring in Garp, and then you have to replace Chopper, and you need all of those fun, crazy supports to get that done then. But look, you have some supports for Akainu as well that can definitely work out in your favor. A lot of people don't have Sabo. People asking for Sabo replacements. If you bring a friend captain Sabo, you're kind of covered for everything that Sabo is trying to do. Like, you can use Sabo to bypass the burn. You can use Sabo to bypass the special binds. He gives you a full board of tandem orbs for either turn 4 or turn 5 for the block orbs, depending on what you want to do. If you're using Chopper, you can use the Brûlé support on Chopper, and then that way you can, or even on Luffy, and then that way you can use the EX on turn 4 to bypass the Kizaru attack down with certain chain multipliers. But again, if you run him as a friend captain, you are basically covered for everything you need with what Sabo is actually providing. He's a great wave clearer if you have 2 of them though, so you could just pop both. So if you don't have your own Sabo, don't stress too much, because like, you could easily just substitute him off for something like Garp, and that's actually going to get you that extra character that you need for the EXs. So you could easily do something like this, slap him on there, and then you're off to the races that way. Remember, like I said, you really only need one Sabo as your friend captain, and that way you can get around the Despair, you can get around the Burn, you get around the Special Bind, you do all that fun stuff. Plus you get some pretty good damage numbers with his special off as well. So if you are doing something like this, and for example, if you don't have Wipe In and Ace, you can then bring in a Kainu, and now you're sort of substituting out all of these other characters that aren't really needed for Sabo's EX and stuff like that. If you have Sabo yourself but you don't have Luffy, then you can obviously just chop and change here, and then you could bring in Sabo and then bring a friend captain Luffy, because the 2 of them together basically take care of everything. If you are looking more towards not having any of the legends but you do have the rare recruits, for example, if you have Dineen is just like a perfect slot in for this particular team. You just throw Dineen in here and you're pretty much good. Downside to that is that you are now missing you are missing another character for the Luffy EX. However, the enemy's not immune to defense down, so you could actually use this Nami support on the final stage. You could do some fun stuff with like some paralysis removal, bring another Straw Hat, and then actually get some paralysis that way. You won't actually need the Chopper and the Roger support if you guys do have Dineen there, so just be mindful of that. But again, Zoro and Dineen are like perfectly interchangeable. Honestly, you probably don't even need like, yeah, you want the EX for the friend captain Luffy, but I guess you could probably run like, say for example, you had Dineen, you could probably run like Crocodile as a paralysis remover, and then bring a Sabo as a friend captain, and that way you have the Luffy, you have Dineen for the Sabo EX, and you're pretty fine there. If you guys are missing Dineen but you have Garp, like that's where stuff like kind of gets a little bit tricky. If you only have Garp, you're probably just better off running like a no batch team. As I mentioned before, doing something like this, as like Garp, he just doesn't really help this fight at all. Though hopefully this video helps you guys out with putting together a team for the Blitz. Like I said, I put out a bazillion videos, so go check them out if you can build them. Get your rewards, get your gems. Don't go crazy farming it, but try and get the most out of it for yourself without breaking your mental strain. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, bell like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As well as homies, thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one.